Uni are moving up the ladder, showing some recent good form, with this their third win of the season after a slow start to 2013. Uni held a good 21-point lead at quarter time, but a great second quarter effort from Labrador reduced that to 11 at the main break. Uni came out fired up, booting 6 goals in the third quarter, while keeping Labrador quiet in front of goal. They managed 2 goals and 1 behind. The final quarter was fairly even on the scoreboard, but the students had set up a good lead to finish with a 38-point win. Labrador did miss Fraser Thurlow in the ruck. He was a late withdrawal due to a leg injury, with the Tigers' list of injuries growing, with Nick Stockdale injuring his knee in the second quarter. While for Uni, Tom Elkington will be out for a while, injuring his AC joint. Adam Campbell was the best for Sydney Uni. He managed to slot 3 goals, as did Timothy Barton, while Jake Goldsmith was the best for Labrador. He also managed 3 goals. Utility Matt Clark scored 1 goal in his record 165th senior game for Labrador. The final score 18-13, 121 to 13-5, 83. It was a big game between the Brisbane Lions and Gold Coast Suns, with the Suns handing their premiers their first loss of the season. The Suns welcomed Vice-Captain Nathan Bock back into the side after a lengthy stint on the sideline, and he didn't disappoint, with the former All-Australian defender scoring 2 goals. The Lions started well, booting 5 goals in the first to hold a 5-point lead at the first change. But the Suns revved up and booted 5 goals in the second quarter, with the Lions registering just 5 behinds. The Lions fought back to reduce the Suns' lead to 20 points going into the last quarter, but the Suns answered with a sensational finish, scoring 5 goals 5 while restricting the Lions to 1 goal 2. Joshua Hall booted 5 for the Gold Coast. Nicholas Hayes and Michael Close were best for the Lions, with Joshua Hall and Jack Hutchins brilliant for the Suns. The Gold Coast will be on a high after downing the Lions 10-10-70 to 17-15, 117. Aspley have notched up their 6th win of the season, coming from behind to beat Morningside by 38 points.
Stiller, yes! He's got it!
Aspley were trailing at quarter time, with Morningside enjoying a good start with 5 goals and 3 behinds to Aspley's 3 goals 1. But the tables turned after the break, with Aspley sotting another 5 majors, with Morningside just scoring 1, giving the Hornets a 50-44 lead at half-time.
50 metres out, goes long, goes bang!
A big fourth quarter helped Aspley secure the victory, with accurate kicking boosting the final score. The Hornets managed 7 goals, 3 behinds to Aspley's 3 goals 2. Kent Abbey was always a threat. He booted 4 goals for Morningside, with Michael Hutchison ensuring he didn't cause any more carnage. Austin Lucy scored 4 majors for Aspley. Clinton French, Edward Sansbury, James Nellis and Adam Hughes slotted 2 each. In the end, Aspley won the match 78-116. The UWS Giants sit just outside the top 5 and would be happy with the 19-point win over UWS Giants at Bruce Purser. The Giants got off to a strong start, bagging an impressive 7 goals in the first quarter, while Hills Eagles scored 4. UWS then slotted another 4 in the second quarter, while keeping Hills Eagles to 2 to go into the main break with a 74-38 lead. Hills Eagles regrouped at half-time with some tough work in defence, stopping the Giants' goal-scoring spree to register 4 majors themselves to rein in UWS's lead to just 6 points at three-quarter time. But the Giants fought back, scoring 5 goals in the final stanza to break free of Hills Eagles. Both sides had a spread of goal scorers. Jamie Vlatko slotted the most for Hills Eagles with 3, while Mark Wiley, Sam Reid and Liam Sumner all managed 3 goals. Despite a gallant effort from Hills Eagles in the third, the Giants took the win 13-11-89 to 16-12, 108. The Sydney Swans managed another win at the SCG to stay on top of the Eastern Conference ladder. The Swans were too strong for the Magpies in the top-of-the-table clash, showing the competition they mean business. Holding on to a 10-point lead at the first break, the Swans didn't look back, booting 6 goals in the third quarter and 7 in the fourth. The Swans were strong in defence too, with the efforts of Shane Biggs helping to keep Belconnen to 1 goal in the second quarter, 2 in the third and 1 goal again in the fourth. He was named best for the Sydney side, with Brandon Jack and Jed Lamb also getting a mention. There were plenty of goal scorers for the Swans, with Jesse White leading the way with 5, while Lachlan Kilpatrick and Brandon Jack slotted 3 each. Christopher York managed 3 of Belconnen's 6 goals. James Bennett was impressive for the Magpies, as was Matthew Porter and Alexander Bennett. The Swans walked away with an impressive 91-point win. NT Thunder and Southport faced off in the curtain raiser to the Port Adelaide Western Bulldogs Darwin clash. Southport held the lead from the start, with accurate kicking in the first quarter giving them a 14-point lead, with 6 goals and 1 behind to the Thunder's 3 goals 5. Southport's good form continued, while the Thunder had more shots at goal. Inaccuracy saw them with 11 points compared to 5 goals at half-time. The third quarter was fairly even affair, while the NT was resurgent in the fourth, but it was too late. Darren Ewing booted 5 for the Thunder, while Dean Staunton kicked 2. Joshua Baxter was the game's top scorer. He managed 6, while Fraser Pope, Cleve Hughes, Glenn Screech and Tyler Cornish all scored 2 majors for Southport. The final score, 13-15, 93 to 15-12, 102. Ainsley are back on the winners list after taking down the struggling Tuerong Hawks at Greenway. Ainsley came out strong, booting an accurate 8 goals to Tuerong's 1 in the first quarter. The second quarter wasn't as good for the Tricolours, with the Hawks winning the quarter by scoring 2 goals 1 while keeping Ainsley goalless. They did register 5 one-pointers. Ainsley were back in fine form after the main break, scoring 4 goals to Tuerong's 1. They finished it off with a stellar 6-goal fourth quarter to run away with a strong 85-point win. Half-back Matthew Bernasconi was Tuerong's only player to boot more than 1 goal. He managed 2 of the Hawks' 5, while Nicholas Payne slotted 4 for the Tricolours. Peter McGrath was best for the Hawks, with Toby Richards and Jesse McFall also fighting hard throughout the clash. Marcus Crook was back to his best, as was Aaron Vandenberg, who managed a goal. Dale Walker was also in fine form. The score at the final siren, 5-32 to 18-9, 117. Mount Gravatt are still winless, going down to Broadbeach at Ditmar Park. Broadbeach kicked 5 goals in the first quarter, while keeping Mount Gravatt to 1 major to lead 9-33 at the first break. The Vultures kicked 2 goals in the second, while Broadbeach kicked 3. Mount Gravatt came out of the main break determined and looked a real threat, kicking 4 goals while keeping Southport to 1, reigning in the lead to just 16. But Broadbeach answered with a stellar final term, a massive 11-goal haul. Fraser Neate was the only goal kicker to boot more than 1 6-pointer. He managed 2, while Benjamin Hancock slotted 6 for the victors, earning him a mention among the best. Broadbeach remain in the mix after the 72-point win. A tough week for Queanbeyan, backing up after their loss to Werribee in the Foxtel Cup to take on Eastlake at Star Track Oval. The Tigers started well, holding a 17-point lead at the first break, but the Demons soon caught up. They booted 5 goals to Queanbeyan's 1 in the second quarter to go into half-time up by 7. A close third quarter kept the difference to 10 points, with Eastlake having the edge over their opponents. Another close encounter in the fourth, but the Demons scored 2 goals to Queanbeyan's 1. Dean Ralston, Justin Mesman and Matthew O'Dwyer managed 2 each for Eastlake, with 4 others pitching in with goals, including Aaron Wiles and Xavier McMahon, who stood out for the Demons. While Queanbeyan's Stephen Jolliffe was the game's highest scorer with 3, he was helped on the scoreboard by Benjamin Klemke, Malcolm Fernie and Ryan Quaid, who each slotted 1. Player coach Cade Klemke stood up for his side, while Malcolm Fernie battled hard in the ruck. Eastlake took the points in the end, 10-4-64 to 6-11-47. The Brisbane Lions remain on top of the Northern Conference ladder, followed closely by Southport. Aspley and the Gold Coast Suns are next. Morningside are sitting 5th. Then it's the NT Thunder and Redland. Broadbeach in 8th, followed by Labrador, with Mount Gravatt at the bottom. Looking at the Eastern Conference ladder, Sydney Swans are in top spot. Belconnen in second with 6 wins, followed by Ainslie, Queanbeyan and Eastlake. UWS Giants are just outside the 5. Then it's Sydney Uni and Hills Eagles with 3 wins each. Tuerong down the bottom with 8 points. In round 12, Gold Coast take on Sydney Swans reserves, NT Thunder are up against UWS Giants, Aspley face Mount Gravatt, Broadbeach take on Redland and Southport battle Morningside. For more info, head to neafl.com.au and stay up to date with NEAFL fixtures, results and news. Simply download the NEAFL app from the App Store.